Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
We will be quickly moving in this particular aspect. Be talking about graphical presentation. Under the graphical presentation, there are many things that are involved. So there are many things that are involved in a graphical presentation. So I want us to look into that. We'll be discussing basically histogram, polygon, ogive, bar chart. We'll cover everything today. Then probably, if time permits us, we'll move into the next. What is histogram? We all know the histogram based on our elementary classes. We know that what is the highest frequency in histogram, the highest frequency determined, and from there we look into frequency polygon. How do you do the frequency polygon? Remember, we need what we call our class boundary in this case. We need a class boundary to be able to join all these points together. And I want you to do it by yourself. It is not because you want to cram the definition alone, just to write the paper. Remember, you are going to do what we call our research methodology as time goes on. And when you get there, you don't need to be panicking again to be able to solve some of those problems. It's very simple and direct. So, or is it possible for us, if I can have some years, I can jump this particular chapter? How many of us is finding this chapter difficult? This particular chapter. If you are finding it difficult, kindly raise up your hand. Just raise up your hand. The number of people that raise up their hand will determine whether we'll continue with this chapter or we'll move on to another chapter.
Sorry, sir, but most of us can't even see the screen.
You cannot, most of you cannot do what?
See the screen, sir. It's not clear.
So the screen is so blurry. It's very small.
It is your network, not my own side. Is it still blurred?
It's very clear. I can see mine clearly.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I can't see mine. It's very small and tiny.
It is good that you enlarge it on your screen, on your phone. I can't do that for you. Once you expand it, it will be
It's not working.
okay.
It's not clear.
It's better now.
It is your network. Please, this is not the first time I will be telling you this. Once you can see the screen, it is your network that is not strong enough. Work on that. Okay, let's move on. Please, who is this person? Hands down, please. Okay. It shows that we need to quickly say something about it. Please lower your hand. Okay, now let's move on. For the histogram, I will give us a question. I will just pick a question. Then from then, I will continue. How do we solve the histogram problem? What are the things we need to know when it comes to histogram? What are the things we need to check when it comes to histogram and polygon? Okay, let's write this question down. Please write this question down. The question says, that we should try as much as possible. Use the frequency table. Please write it down. Use the frequency table. Use the frequency table below. Use the frequency table below. Comma, draw the histogram and polygon. Draw the histogram and polygon. Draw the histogram and polygon. So what are the things below that we are talking about? Let's check. So the table, we have age. We have age. Just hold on. I'm trying to adjust the screen. Okay. Under my table, I have age. Age. I have frequency. I have frequency, age frequency, and class boundary. Remember, your class boundary is divided into two. So we have 1 to 10, and the frequency here is 2. We have 11 to 20. The frequency here is 3. We have 21 to 30. The frequency here is 6. We have 31 to 40. The frequency here is 9. We have 41 to 50. The frequency here is 4. So at this point, who can tell us? At this point, who can tell us the class boundaries?
Sir. Okay.
Yes, the class boundary for the first one.
Hello, Mr. Sally.
Can you hear me?
10.5, sir.
Yes, sir.
The class boundary for the first class boundary is what?
0.5 to 10.5.
Is 0.5 to
10.5.
So
10.5.
to
Okay.
10.5.
The second one will be
10.5 to 20.5.
the next one will be
20.5 to 30.5.
20.5 to 30.5.
the next one will be
30.5 to 40.
30.5 to
40.5.
40.5.
Kindly mute yourself, everybody. Thank you. Mute yourself.
Yes, question.
Yes. What's the question? What's the question, please? You said? Yes, Friday.
Sorry, sir,
Can
there's
you
no
guys
question. There's no question, sir.
lower your hand, please? If you don't have any question, lower your hand. Joseph, go for it. Aruna, any question?
Please, sir, how the sorry.
Yes.
Please, sir.
Question.
Oh.
Speak, please.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
And my question is, how do we get this frequency?
Frequency will be given from the question.
Part of the question.
Age and frequency, they are question. This is your class. Age is your class limit. Y frequency is the number that occur within that interval. That is, how many people are within this range? There are 2. How many people is age 1 to 10? There are 2 from the population. How many?
Okay.
Are you getting it? These are the 2 questions. These are the normal table is age and frequency. Thank you. Yes. Who else? Oyewale? Lower your hand, please. If you don't have any question. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Now we have the class boundary. Remember the way I explained class boundary, deduct 0.5 from your lower class limit. This is your class limit. From your class limit here, we deduct 0.5 and you had 0.5 to upper class limit. That's just the method of solving that. Now that we have the class boundary, the question says you should solve, you should draw the class, you should draw the histogram frequency polygon of the distribution. So we can proceed from here. The first thing you need to do when it comes to histogram, let's write, you can write it down. One of the things you need to, first of all, you need to do there is to analyze, first of all, draw the table. You have to draw the table or draw a label. Let me use draw a label. Don't let me use table in this case.
They won't present.
Now.
Tell me my glasses, please.
Use Bible corrector. Are you sharing?
Tell me.
So we are to draw X axis and Y axis. So where this is your Y and this is your X. X axis. So at this point, one of the things we need to know is on your vertical.
A pull on a push.
Adam, any question? So this is your Y axis. Y is vertical, Y, X is horizontal. Please take note of that. Then you need to take along which one is your frequency always be in the vertical. Y horizontal is your class boundary. I call it CB, class boundary. Now, it depends. So we can start from, let's say, 0. So from here, what's the highest value of your frequency, please? Check. The highest frequency, highest value is what?
9.
9, sir.
9.
Okay.
9.
So if 9 is my own, I can decide to use the table by putting it in this format. Remember, I'm using the board. Let's say I will need to in this table again. Don't you draw it in your own way. I will draw my own in my own way too. So I have it here. So in my own way, I'll put Y, and this is my X as X. So start from 0. Let's say I put 1 unit to be 2. I put another one to be 4, 6, 8, and 10. Remember, when you are using your graph, or maybe if you want me, let me just put it 1, 2, 3, so that for this particular case, it will make more sense for us. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can put this one 10. So the first one is 0.5. You start from the lower. The lowest one is 0.5. This is 0. Let's say 0.5. 0.5. So the next one will be 10.5. While the next one will be 20.5. The next one will be 30.5. Next, 40.5. The next, 50.5. So from here, what is the frequency for class boundary between 0.5 to 10.5? What is it? Anybody?
2.
2. Thank you. Take your 2 from here. To where?
To
10.5.
10.5.
Can you see it now? So now, what is my frequency from 10.5 to 20.5?
3.
3.
3. Extend the one of 10.5. Start from there. Remember, it's 10.5 range. To 20.5. So, what is my 20.5 to 30.5?
6.
6. So go to 6. Draw the 6. Remember, it's 30.5, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Trace it to 30.5. So what is 30.5 to 40.5?
9.
9.
Extend it. Go to 9. To 40.5. So what is our 40.5 to 50.5?
4.
4, sir.
So now let's take it from 4. Look at the 4. Let it come from 4. Exactly. You don't need to mute or mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Pastor Solomon, mute yourself. And Mercury Princess, mute yourself. I don't need to check your audio. Audio is what we are saying mute. Once there is no cross on it, it simply means you are disturbing others. Just make sure it's muted, please. Thank you. Some people are already in waiting room. I will put you there. That means if you are in waiting room, you will not see what we are doing at all. Sarah, who is Sarah? So this is our, now the question is, we can also calculate our mode from here. How do we calculate the mode from frequency from the histogram? Let's check. What is the highest value? The highest point here
is 9, sir.
9. Now, let me pick another pen so that you understand what I'm doing. So what you need to do is to draw the line.
9.
To this angle, please. Sorry. So let's join the line from the angle of, from here. Let me just use this too. Let it come here. So join them together. The highest value of frequency, join them together. From then, we can now proceed from there. So at that point, the meeting point, will be at this point. Trace it down. The value you get is your mode. Trace it down. What did you get in your own case, please? That is mode. At this point, this is mode. What you get there is what we are talking about. Can we try it?
Done, sir.
So what did you have?
In between 30.5 and 40.5.
Yes. You can read it. I know.
35.
35. Some people got 35. Some people got 34 point something. Our mode is equals to
35.
30. Some said 35. It depends on your measurements. So it depends. You don't need to bother yourself or be panicking.
34.
Yes,
34.
you can get any. That's what I just said.
34.8.
Okay. Now let's calculate the poly. Yes, Ruth, you raise up your hand. What's the question? Okay, let's continue, please. So, yes.
So I don't understand how you got that mood. I'm confused with this. Some people saying 35.5 and some people saying 34. I don't even understand what I got. I don't know what I got.
Now
I
you
just
need to.
used the line.
No. Listen to us. You see, I put the 2 places, 2 points here. Between here and here is 2. Between here and here, it depends on the way you scale your graph. Your graph will determine what you are going to get. So the highest value in your, what do we call it now? In your histogram, what's the tallest? Let me use the word tallest. Maybe that one will help you.
9.
9.
9. Let's Ruth talk, please. So,
9.
So from that 9, trace your 9 down to the left and to the right. When you trace it down to your left, you join this one. To your right, you join this one, right? Now, at the midpoint where the both line, the point of let's call it equilibrium point, where the line that you are tracing, the both men, trace it down, track it down to our x-axis. When you drag it down, you see this is what I have here. This is what I have. So I will not count it. How many value is here to this? From here to this place is what? I said 35 is my own. The remaining one will continue. Or I can say 34.5. Or it depends on your graph. So it must be accurate when you are drawing it. Remember, I'm not using graph. I just use my hand to trace it. So it now depends on you. Is that okay by you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So let's move on. We can quickly solve the polygon too. For us to solve the polygon, how do we go about polygon? What are the values do we need for the polygon? Now, let's check our values one after the other. So at the midpoint of the polygon, we can also use this our histogram also to draw the polygon. All we need to do is just to extend. For example, if I want to draw the polygon here, all I need to do is I will just create arbitrary value here. Then I will create another arbitrary value here. A point, a midpoint. So what is the midpoint here? The midpoint here at the middle, you mark it at the middle, you mark this. Please do the same thing in your own graph. You mark the middle point. So after you mark the middle point, let me remove this so that I believe you know it now. So after we've removed it, what you need to do is just to join them together. Let me use another pen here so that you can see it clearly. Okay, let me use black. So I can join it now by saying this to this. That is 0.5 from 0 to 0.5, from 0.5 to at the midpoint to this. So because it cannot hang here, that's why we created this one at the midpoint too. So it will join this one. So we call this particular aspect our polygon, our frequency polygon. Azana. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, please, I don't understand this midpoint and frequency polygon.
Which of the midpoint? The midpoint is what? On a normal day, assuming we don't have the histogram, we just need to calculate the midpoint of this, add these two together. What is it? 11. 11 divided by 2, 5.5. So we just trace it. So, but in this case now, we are not using that method. We are just solving the polygon. We want to know what's the polygon of this. We just plot the polygon against, we just trace it on the histogram, since we have histogram. Because in case you find a question says, use your histogram to draw your polygon. You can do it this way. I just use it to explain. Let's move on. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Adamu. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
In an exam situation, or if you are given this type of questions to solve, will it be okay to draw both the polygon and the histogram on one graph, or are we?
This is not Instagram, bro. This is not Instagram. Histogram.
Hello?
Yes,
That's what I'm saying. I said, can we do both of them on one graph, or are we to separate them?
It depends on, follow the question, listen to the question. The question says, draw the frequency polygon after you've solved the histogram. That is why we are doing it. If the question says, do the histogram and leave, you don't need to do the polygon.
All right, sir.
No, besides, it depends on the question they will give you. All these things, they are just the techniques to solve it. Remember, majority of your question might be multiple choice. And why people complain on multiple choice, something might not clear. But if you have idea of solving it, you quickly solve it by yourself and derive your answer and go.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hands down, please. Adeshina. Don't worry, I will also put you. Once you cannot mute yourself, you will join those in waiting room. You will join them. Okay, let's continue, please. Okay, for example, if I'm not asked, if you don't have any means of solving, if they just give you the table, let's take another example. Number 2, you're given age. Please write the table down. Age is 11 to 15. Then you have your frequency to be 6. Another one is 16 to 20, 8. Another one is 21 to 25, 10. Another one is 26 to 30, 11. Another one is 31 to 35, 6. Another one is 36 to 40. And another one is 41 to 45. So we have this. The question says, I will clean the question very soon. Please, let's quickly write it. The ages of 50 people in a community are given. In the table above. Draw the frequency polygon. Draw the frequency polygon. Draw the frequency polygon of the distribution. Frequency polygon of the distribution. So we have something like this. So what we need to do, just a minute. Please copy the question before I clean it, because I'll clean the question to continue the table, please. Have you all, do we all have the
Question, yes.
question now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
So I believe we have the question now. We can go ahead.
Yes, sir.
So from here, we can remember the question says we should draw the polygon, frequency polygon. For us to draw the frequency polygon, we need class mark or midpoint. Remember, class midpoint, class mark, or class mid value. It depends on the name they call it. But let me call it class mark. For class marks, how do we solve the class marks? Anybody that if you can remind us. If you can, class mark, yes. Salisu, Adam. Unmute yourself. I can't hear you. Okay. Aisha Yusuf, unmute yourself.
Okay.
Don't worry. Just
11 plus 15 divided by
11 plus 15 divided by 2. Okay. Peter Abisoye.
Well, good morning, sir. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. That's the lowest Egyptian plus the highest one divided by 2.
Okay.
Which is 11 plus 15.
11 plus 15. At this point, you don't need class boundary. You only need your class limit, which you have been given. Just add the two together, divide them by 2. Now, everybody do that in your notes. Add all the age together, 11 plus 15 divided by 2. Create another column. Create another column for it. So by the time you create another column for it, it will help us to be able to, from then, we can go ahead and solve the problem. Create another column. So after that, after you create another, you've done that, we can now proceed.
So we are not seeing your screen.
Because I'm not sharing it. If I've shared the screen, you can see now. So the first answer is what, please?
13. 13, sir.
13.
18.
Please, if you have kids beside you, please. And if your network is not strong enough, don't bother. Just listen to others, please. The first one is 13, right?
Yes, sir.
The next one is
18.
18 and
23.
13, yes. 18. 23.
and 28.
23. 28.
What are now?
33.
38. 88. Then the last one is
43.
43.
38 and 43. So what can you see between the value? What is the difference?
Difference of 5.
Difference of 5. Now,
The difference of 5.
the same thing from the class limit repeated itself here. You can see the class limit, you have 11 to 15, 5 different, 16 to 20, 5 different, and so on. So it will definitely show up here too. So please take note. If you are making mistake or error, you will discover from here. Let's move on. So we can now go ahead and sketch. Number one thing you need to know when you are trying to draw this, Abosede, yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Please, sir, how do we get the class marks, sir? Please, sir.
Add age together. Look at the first age. What is the first one? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, I can see it, sir.
I think you are too busy for me. Let's move on, please.
I can see it, sir.
Don't worry.
I don't understand.
Please, sir, please, I beg you, sir. I moved myself back, that's why.
Okay, this is 11. Is the lower age in this class. 15 is the highest. Add the two together. Add the two together. What do you have?
That's 26, sir.
26 divided by 2.
13.
26 divided by 2 is what?
13.
That is where you have it. The same thing all through. Is that okay? So let's move on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
We can now go ahead and draw the our polygon. Then your frequency, as usual, will be here. Our frequency will be here. Then our class mark will be here. So the frequency in this case, what is the highest frequency do we have?
11.
11. I can use the
11 is the highest frequency we have.
Okay, we have 0 here. I can say each of them 2. You have 2. Let me use 2 interval. I will use 2 interval. Let me say 2. I use 4. I'm using 2 on a scale. Or okay, I can even use 1 and 2. Let me use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 12. That's the highest. So this is our y-axis. Don't forget. Why this is my x-axis. So from 0, we have 13, class mark. The next one is
18.
18. Next.
23.
Next.
28.
And
33.
33.
And the last one is
38.
43.
43. Now, what is the frequency for 13?
6.
Don't forget, you have external here. This one is just arbitrary. Let me use red here. This is just an arbitrary one. You have 6. Trace it to 6. The next one is?
The next one is 8.
It's 18.
18 is what?
18 is 8.
Okay. The next one is?
23.
The next one
is
is
10.
10.
23 is 10.
Increasing, then 28 is 11. It is the highest.
The next is what?
28 and it's 11.
23. Then it come down again here.
And the next?
28 to 6. 28 to 33 to 6.
38. So this thing they be for paper. Well,
Please let us use our common sense. Once you are in where there is not, you don't need to mute yourself, except if you want to ask questions. Just check your gadget, please. Next, 38 is what?
38 is 5.
To 5.
43
is 4.
4.
So you can see, so it will come down again to arbitrary point. You don't need, so now let's join it together. Everybody, please do that. In your own case, join your own. I will also join my own. If you manage to draw anything. Just make sure you know what we are. Yes?
I want to ask if it's a must for us to take the first point from outside the X and Y axis. I noticed from your first point when you were picking the red points here for the polygon. Yes, the one with the 0. Must it pick from the 0, or we can pick directly from the point where the 0 itself is?
Most times, you can start from, it's just a kind of 0 point, not negative.
Okay, that's what I wanted to be sure of. So
Not negative. It's not going to be negative.
Thank you, sir.
It's just 0. Okay, now let's move on. That is all about polygon. So let's move to the ogive. We call it ogive, or some call it or being pronounced by ogive. So it's more or less the same thing, but it has its own unique way. Let's look at this table also. Let me just quickly give us another table. So in this case, we use class boundary. In ogive, we'll use class boundary and cumulative frequency. for the classes. So let's take note of that. That is the difference between them. So how do we solve them? We have a table called, we can use sales. Let's say the sales range we have it to be from 10 to 14, depending on the quantity of what you are selling. So we have the frequency. We have 2 here. Here we have 15 to 19. We have 3. So from then, we can proceed to the next value. I want to use, okay, let me quickly go to our manual. I'll come back to this point. In our manual says here, let's look at the Ogive here from our manual. So this is a class. To construct the Ogive, some of the things we need to know. We have the class interval here. Under the class interval, we have the one of less than. We have 5 to 9, frequency 0, 10 to 14, like this, till you reach 54. So we have 2 values. For example, we have less than and we have more than. How do we distinguish between less than and more than? If you read this instruction says, you will realize that the class interval 5 to 9 was introduced. Was introduced. And then a frequency of 0 was also assigned to that class interval, since the original table did not show the class. For example, if you check table 4.1, this is table 4.1 they're talking about. This is 4.1 they are talking about. Is in your textbook. So in the table 4.1, we have 10 to 14. The class boundary is this. Can we quickly copy this table, please? All you need to do is just to copy
it's not clear, it's blue.
Yeah, open your textbook. It's there. Page 47. You only need to copy the table and frequency, please. Table and frequency. Just table and frequency. Don't copy the class boundary yet. Now, table and frequency. Yes, Friday. What's the question?
It's still the hand from the other time. Sorry about that.
Please lower your hand. So just copy the table. You have it in your page 47 in your book. Or better still, maybe I can continue with my own We've solved it before. Okay, that is the first table we copied. Let me just use that. The first table we solved, have we saw something on the table before on that particular table? I'm not sure. Okay, just copy this table. It's in your book. Look at your book. Don't just say, it's not there. It's there.
Done, sir.
Okay. So I just want to explain something to you there. The reason, and this is done so that the ogive can take origin from the horizontals, from our horizontal line. Why? From the table, you will see that all the values are less than 24.5 are contained in the class interval of 5 to 9, 10 to 24, 15 to 20, 15 to 19, 20 to 24. And the sum of all these value, which is equal to cumulative frequency of the interval, is 0 to, add everything together, it will give you 10. That is what they are trying to say. But now, for us to solve it, I can actually give us example here. Then I will ask you to also look into the one I was explaining before. But let me give us the example first. Just keep your table to yourself. So we have here 15 to
15.
Okay, let me give us this.
Who was knocking at the
We are talking about the 6 here now. So who can tell us the next value for this 6 that we take?
20 to 24.
24.
Is what?
20 to 24.
20 to 24.
20 to 24. And the next?
25 to 29.
29.
45 to?
29.
To 29.
Okay. And the next will be?
30 to 34.
Okay, let me do this. I have the simplest one. Let me just give us the simple one. It will, so that you can easily grab what I'm doing. Let me change this one. Let me change this one. Just hold on. You can do the same thing. 20. I'm just talking about the class interval alone now. 10 to 20. 30 to 40. Same frequency. 40 to 50. I will call this one 5. I will call this one 40 to.
Out of 20 to 30, sir.
Thank you. We have 20 to 30. Then we have 30 to 40. Then we have 40 to 50. Then we have 50 to 60. Then we have 60 to 70. Let's say this 4, 5, 6, 5. What is the total value for your frequency?
18.
18.
18.
Okay, good. So at this point, there are many ways of solving it. The first thing you need to know is the less than type. We call it less than. The one of less than. Which one less than 20? We have to write it down. Less than 20. What is the cumulative frequency for the one less than 20?
$19.5, sir.
No.
5.
So less than 20, the frequency starts from what?
2.
From 2.
From 2.
Now, cumulative frequency means addition. You add them together. Then less than 30 is what?
5.
Is 5.
Is what?
5.
5.
0.
5.
Less than 40 is what?
10.
Okay.
Less than 50 is what?
14.
14.
Then less than 60 is what?
16.
15.
16.
15.
15. 15.
15.
Less than
And less than
70
Is
18.
18.
is what?
18.
18.
Let me just put them in the brackets so that you understand it.
So I didn't get how we get this less than. Oh.
It should be you are the one saying 0 now.
I don't understand.
I've not said anything before.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
This less than.
Let's do more than you understand everything together. Is that okay? Now, the one of more than. When they say more than 10 is what?
0.
Just hold on. You will see. Sorry. So let me write them out. More than 10, more than 20, more than 30, more than 40, more than 50, then more than 60. Always remember, for those of us that said you don't understand, remember that you have upper says and lower says. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Upper says and lower
says.
says. Now, in this case now, how many people say less than 20? Remember, it's more than 10. From 10 to 20. So at this point, how many people say less than 20 here? They
2.
are 2.
Yes, sir.
2.
How many people sell less than 30 here? They are.
Three.
By the time you add the two together, you add the frequency together.
Five.
How many people sell less than 40? Add everything together.
10.
Because they are still less, they are not up to 40. That is what I'm saying. How many people sell less than 50?
14.
Add everything together. Those ones that have 1, 2, 3, 4, you add them together. How many people sell less than 50? You will not say 1 here, because
Add
1 is
together.
just the range between these, it's just the number of people in that class. But what about people that have been selling from the past? They sold here, and to this point.
15.
So now, what we are now saying is, how many people now sell more than 10? How many?
You say more than 10.
16.
It can't be 15.
16.
16.
It can't be 16.
It's 18.
Wait now.
18.
Thank you, 18.
18,
But
yeah.
I will explain to you. Don't trouble yourself. Just start the cumulative frequency from down to up.
Okay.
Get it? So how many people sell less than 6, more than 60 here? They are 3.
8.
Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How many
Yes.
people here sell more than 50 here?
5.
So we don't understand.
You will understand by the time I clean the board. Don't worry.
5 or 4.
5.
Is what?
5.
1.
No.
4. 4, sir.
4.
Thank you. Add
Okay.
them from bottom
Add from the
to
bottom.
up.
3 plus
Okay.
1, 4.
3 plus 1, 4. Because
4.
how many people here more than 40?
8.
8. 8. 8. 9.
How many people here sell more than
13.
30?
13, sir.
13.
13.
13. How many people sell more than 20?
18.
16, sir.
16 and 8.
How many people sell more than 10?
18, sir.
18.
How you can see the way we go. How many of us is not clear to?
Not clear, sir.
I cannot see the screen.
I'm not clear.
Sir, please, you try to post the video so that for those of you who don't understand clearly, we'll watch it later.
We always release the video. Did you watch the previous one?
Yes, sir.
If you check your first page, you will see the video that there.
Let's move.
So I believe now what we are saying here is this. Let me explain once again before we proceed. 10 to 20 are what? I mean, now we have 10 to 20 to be 2 people in that category.
Yes, sir.
I don't need your response, please.
Okay.
So that people can understand what I'm saying. 10 to 20. How many people in that category? We have 2 people. They are 2, just 2 of them. Now, 2 of them are in that category. Now, how many of them now sell less than 20? They are still the same 2. Because they are the one that started the whole class. So how do we now know how many people now sell less than 30? That is, add this one to this one, we give you 5. Why are we picking 30? Remember, 30 is the low upper limit here, but lower limit in some other places. That is the essence of getting less than and more than. So if they now ask you, draw the ogive, that is what they use this method in releasing your WAEC, NECO, all these exams you've been doing, they use this method to plot it. That is why you see how many they put it in different range, and they will now ask you, they will sketch it and the answer. That is why you see some people, you say, oh, and I only did 3 questions in exam and I got 70. Because they use ogive to be able to design. You will see by the time we sketch it now, you will see the midpoint. And from there, you will appreciate the way we normally, this particular method. So cumulative frequency for each of them is different. So don't mix it. This is cumulative frequency for this. Why? Why this particular one is also having its own cumulative frequency. So the other cumulative frequency is the other one that we've been solving. So we have the cumulative frequency for the other side, please. Let me clean this. So we can now write it out. I can try to write it out in this case. I can say that for the first one, I can say for the less than, I can say 20,2. Then 30,5. Then 40,10. 50,14. Then 60,15. Then 70,18. So that is for less than. For more than, we can write the same thing. We have it already. That is 10,18, 20,16, 30,13, 40,8, 50,4, then 60,3. So you can sketch the curve by yourself. Our time is fast spent, but let's quickly do that.
Is the 70 that is 3, not the 60 for the more than.
You can't have 70 again at the more than. Remember the way we solve it. We already pick it for the lower. How many people sell it less than this? So can you get it now? So yes, Abosede.
No, sir.
By the time you watch the, yes, what's the question, please?
And the more than, I couldn't get it, sir. How you get the more than?
It's the same thing that I'm trying to explain. Okay, listen. You start the more than from the bottom. How many people? You can't say, remember that the more than is the last point here. This is the highest point, right? You cannot say somebody sell more than 70, which is the last point.
Yes.
Maximum.
You can only have the maximum from 60 to the maximum point that we are talking about.
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is why it is only 60 that is there. That's why we now said, how many people have sell more than 60? We have 3.
3.
How many people sell less than 70? We have 18, the total cumulative frequency. So,
yeah.
Do you agree with me now? As a marketer, you understand what I'm saying now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, at this point now, I want everybody to solve it by yourself. Go on. You have cumulative frequency here. You have it here. Then you have your interval here. Or class boundary, or whatever you call it. Or class limit. So from then you can draw your graph. Just the way we solve the polygon, try and search it. So what you do at this point is just to match. I've already put it in the bracket.
Have not working. Yesterday I did and I tried. It did not work. So the first three have
Of the cumulative frequencies are we using? Is it for the less than or more than?
Yes, the one you are solving will determine.
I told one man, yeah, he said today I should bring for him to check it.
Please mute yourself, whoever is talking there.
Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself.
The way you are talking to, mute yourself, you are also contributing. We will not allow me to send the person away. Just mute yourself, everybody. Now, let me solve this. Somebody is asking a question. Now we have the two tables now. We have 2 graphs to plot. Let me just do it this way. Let's start. Okay, the first one will be 0. Please, I want you to plot it in a nice way in your own case. But let me just quickly do something. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Adewumi Bukola, can't you mute yourself? Gladys, mute yourself. Godfred, mute yourself. That's the last one. I will send you out. So we have 70 now. So we can now, so the highest value in here is what? 18. We all know that's our cumulative frequency. The highest value there is 18. So our y-axis will be on the range of 18. So let's go ahead. We have it to be here. Let me use 2 as the anytime I try to use true, it always, okay, let me use true, or let me use 1 rather, so that it will be more clearer. 2 will be better, please. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, because 18 is very long. 14, 16, 18. Yes. So let's first of all sketch the one of less than. The one of less than is what? You have 20 to 2. So our 20 is here. Can someone just help us call the value, please? Just one person. The first person.
30 to 5.
20 is
Aha. Here we go.
$30 to 5.
30 to 5. 30 to 5. Let's go to 5. Is between 6 and 4.
And 6, yes.
Okay. Next.
40 to 10.
40 to
10.
10.
One more step above.
Next.
50 to
50 to
14.
what?
14.
Okay. Okay. Next.
60 to 15.
60 to 15. In between. Next.
70 to 18.
70 to 18.
So meaning I can clean the table now. Let me clean this one so that okay. To 80, right? Our 18 is here. Let me say there. Okay, so we can now join this one together. We can join it together. So the next value is, so let's call the one of, remember this is
that is less than.
Less than. So for the other one,
more than.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I noticed that you did not draw. Is it an imaginary? What do you call it, from the zero axis? Is it that in this case it's not necessary? You didn't give us any points from 0 and
And that is what we are going. Let's finish this first. You will see what will happen. Let's judge more than 2.
All right.
So, Peter, please go ahead. Call the more than for us.
Okay, 10 to 18.
10 to 18. So you go to 18 from 10. Next.
20 to 16.
20 to 16. Yes.
30 to 13.
30 to 13. In between. Yes.
40 to 8.
40 to 8.
50 to 4.
Hold on. 50 to 4.
And lastly, 60 to 3.
60 to 3.
I have a question, sir.
Go ahead.
So in a case where we are told to state down the more than values, like I stated my own from 60 to 3, does it mean anything, or we should start from 10 to 18? Or I stated my own from down 60 to 3, 50 to 4, 40 to 8.
I don't understand. Which is it the same? So far, it's the same value. You can start anyway.
It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same value. You get the same shape.
Yeah, okay.
You can decide to start from the middle, and it depends on the way that's convenient for you. Just make sure you use the same frequency. The frequency should not be different. Are you getting it now? The cumulative frequency must be the same cumulative frequency. So let's join them together. You don't need a perfect line here. All you need is everything must be joined together. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now that we've joined it together, somebody asked a question. You can extend at this point. Nobody counts, it doesn't count anything, just to make sure it starts from horizontal. Abi. So this one, it touches horizontal, and this one also touches, remember, is above. You can see what I was telling you the other time. The highest frequency you can ever get from that, the highest cumulative frequency you can ever get from that sales is 18. Now, if I extended, look at the extension now. The extension costs me more than 18. So it shows that my class does not reach 18. Now let's look at the lower here. As you can see this one too, if I stretch it very well, sorry, it will be more than 70. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
That was what I was trying to explain the other time. Yes, some people raise up their hands. Sorry. So if I extend this one now, depends on your own ruler or whatever you use to do your stuff. You see where it cut. And why this one is inclusive is because the 10 initially, they are part of the more than. As you can see, it's still within the range of what we are dealing with. So from then, you can trace this one down. So when you trace it down, what do we call this? Anybody?
The class mark.
What do we call it? Go and read your book and get the name.
We call it the mode.
The
Go
mode.
and you don't need to tell. You don't need to tell. Just go and read your book. You will see the name they call it. So, any question on this before I move to the last point? Adamu.
Sir, Memuna, yes, sir. My question is, is there any need for us to extend these lines beyond where the marks stop, or can we just stop there? I just need to be clear on that.
It doesn't count because there is no point. Look at this point now. This is the only point we have here. This is the point we are reckoned with.
Okay.
You understand my point? Anywhere
Yes,
you
sir.
see aesthetic, that's the only way we are reckoned with. You can never see anybody that will say, okay, now that we've extended it, let's go and pick it at the middle. No, look at this. I can only pick at the middle point those that have the aesthetic point. That's what. All this one now, I don't have any business with them for now.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. So,
Why is he not giving it to us? It's for the everybody.
That one is not the center.
It's not the
so that is, I believe we got this one right. James, you raise up your hand. Bless, you raise up your hand.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
what's the name of this particular graph now?
Ogive.
Ogive. Okay.
Yes. Or Ogive.
Ogive.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. James.
Sir, please, sorry to bring you back, sir. I was actually lost when you were preparing the table for histogram. Please, can you summarize it for me, sir? Because my network.
And don't worry, you don't need somebody. I will post. You will, Mr. James, just calm down.
Yes, I can.
There's no stress. You will get the video after the class, so you can watch the video at your own convenient time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I will try and post. I'll work on the video today and see how I can do it. I have other things also. So that is by Ogive. Now let's quickly solve this because we must finish this aspect today. It won't take much of our time. So at your own leisure time, you don't need to submit this one. Do this exercise 4.1 and see what you can get. No submission, please. So now on the bar chart, we all know the bar chart, we'll be using them. For example, let's look at this. We have it in months. We have months. We have January. Our January here is equals to 5.2. Our February here is equals to 7.4 in millions. And our March here is equals to 10.6 million. It depends on the sales we are talking about here. And for us to solve this simple one, which one will be your frequency? The value will be your frequencies. The sales will be your frequency. The highest frequency here is, we can have it to be 11 or 12. It depends on the way you range it. Then, from then, what is the first one? By the time you trace this one, the difference between them is bar chart does not join together. they always, that's the difference between bar charts and histogram. Bar chart stand on its own. It doesn't link to like histogram. The way we join histogram, you know, histogram will do like this and merge it to the other one. No, in bar charts is separate. You will stand on your own. For example, you have it this way. I have it to be 5. My 5.2 is here. All I need to do is just to take it to 5.2 and bring it down. I call it January. Then the next month is February, 7.4. I have 7.4 also here. You don't need to move it from origin to the other side. No, it doesn't start like that. So I will take it from February to 7.4 and let it come down. February. And the last one will be 10.6. All I need to take is to take my graph to 10.6 and let it come down. Excuse me, that's a match. So that is all about simple components, simple bar charts. What about components? The components, a bit different. It all depends. Who can explain components to us? If you can explain, just raise up your hand. Then, okay, Naomi, you raise up your hands. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is a bar chart that shows the total value of a time period and the values of the components that make the total of the component bar chart.
E.g., how do we plot? Can you explain the 1999? What happened?
Okay, the value there.
Yes. How do we get this point, 1999?
Sorry, sir, I need to study. No, I can't. I need to study before I get it.
Okay, who else can explain how do we get this 1999? Just raise up your hand, then I'll call your name. Yes, Muraina.
Yes, sir, because we have 3 classes on the same value, so we need to divide into 3.
You said?
Because we have 3 classes on a value there on a particular year, so we need to divide it into 3 classes.
Okay, can you explain?
Like we have A, B, C, that's all of them individual have its own value for that particular year. So we need to draw a chart for A, we need to draw a chart for B, and we need to draw a chart for C for a particular year. And subsequent years, we have to also draw chart A, B, C.
Okay. Let me use different colors so that we can get it right. Let me say red for A. C is black. Blue is this. Okay. Somebody else raise up their hands. Let me see the name. Thank you. Samuel.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
So the bar chart talks of a component of drawing a bar chart of component. For example, the one of the 1999 are departmental profits or sales. They are looking at sales emanating from different departments in one organization. So each department, their sales is plotted in a bar chart.
Okay. So how do we explain 3.2? That's where I'm going. How do you explain 3.2, please? How do we plot it? That is my own question. When is 3.2? When is 3.4? When is 2.8?
So basically, it's like a summation, like what we have on the y axis. The sales are plotted starting from, I believe, the first one is 5. What's it called? The total sales, and then you're plotting it against, like for A, you're looking at A is 3.2, 3.4, B is 3.4, and C is 2.8. So the total of that, gives us almost about 10 or thereabout. And so
Don't
that's the
say all
addition.
almost. Just give us exact value so that we can all learn from it. That is what I want.
Let me compute the exact value.
3.2 plus
okay.
3.4
6.6.
is what?
6.6.
10.4.
So
9.4.
plus 2.8.
10.4.
Is it 10.4?
No, 8.
10.4,
9.4.
9.4. This
it's
one
9.
is 9.4. What about the second one?
9.4.
5.8 plus 6.2.6 gives you
plus 3
9.3
and plus 2.6.
8.4.
8.4. The last one?
10.8.
10.8. So now they said you are to represent the value of the net profit with the aid of component bar charts. You will need to plot the value of the component A, B, and C for 3 years. The first year, show the bar charts, show that the bar of the length 9.4 centimeter divided into 3.2 for A, 3.4 for B, and 2.8 for C centimeter. You will repeat the exercise for the value ABC in 2000 and in 2000. Now, how do we solve it? You start from A, B, and C. We have different way of solving it.
Multiple.
Unfortunately, this material does not label it. But however, it is very pretty simple. For example, let's say we have it this way. I'm just giving us an idea, the way you have to look into it. Now, 1999 is our target. The first column for 1999 is what? 3 point what?
3.2.
3.2.
Let's say my 3.2 is here. That is my A. What is B?
3.4.
There's no how you can't come back here. Remember the law. That means you are to add everything together. Let's go to the table, please. Remember, you have 3.2. The next one is what?
3.4.
They said net profit in the department, a million. So look at what Everything is 9.4.
Yes.
But let's say this is a department. We only have 3 departments. And we want to represent the profit in a year. Assuming you are working there now, I just entered your office. I said, okay, can you show me the sales for, you have marketing A, marketing B, marketing C. Are you getting it? So meaning that we all have the same thing. So if we have the same thing, what do we need to show? We need to tell us, okay, this is the number of sales we have. Now we can merge it together. For example, here, let's add 3.4 to the first one. What do you have?
6.6.
6.6.
I can call this one. Let me say this is my 6.6.
Six 6.8.
Is it 6.8 or 6.6?
6.6.
Okay.
6.6,
Now,
sir.
the next one will be what? C. What is C? 2.8 plus 6.6.
9.4.
Can you see it now?
9.4.
Can we see it now?
Yes, sir.
So it depends. That is why you will see from here, the diagram, this one is bigger. Look at this one. The portion is a bit smaller. Yes, it's 6.6, but does not take it away from it. So we just draw it gradually like that. You are building up, not that you start from the scratch. That is where A started from. Are you getting it now?
Yes, sir.
A started from it. Look at this one now. The last one, year 2001, is 4. Look at the number of 4. Look at year 2020, is 2.8. Let's quickly do that so that you understand better. So for year 2000 and this, year 2000 started from what?
2.8.
2.8. Let's say my 2.8 is here. I can say 2.8. Don't worry, but in your own case, you have to split because you know the total value. We know the total value from here. We know is 11 is the highest. So you label this side 1 to 11. So it will be easier for you to be picking it. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
So when you add 2.8 to B, what do you have?
6.8.
5.8. 5.8.
5.8.
5.8. It will not up to 6.
5.8.
Then the last one, 5.8 plus 2.8 plus 2.6.
8.4.
8.4.
8.4 cannot reach that.
8.4.
8.4.
8.4.
Can you see the way I solve it now? You can do the one of C by yourself. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to multiple. But the one of multiple also funny, and it's straightforward the way we solve the first one. How do we draw the one of multiple? Please go and read it up and make sure you get it right. So let's move to pie charts. The one of pie charts is a bit interesting, and you have to be careful when you are solving it. I don't need to write much. It's easy, very simple to
understand.
Sir, please, can I take you back a bit?
Don't take me back because I don't have time for that. I need to
sir.
move forward. So what's the
All
question?
right, sir. I was thinking, like in this 2001 now, the chart started, the first one, the A is 4.0, and the next one is dropping. Does it mean we are drawing it down inside?
No.
Yeah, wow.
You
Okay,
are
we're
to
adding.
add. A is the first
Okay.
part.
Sorry. I
Add
get
to
it.
the first part.
It's
Add
true,
to the
it's true,
last
it's true.
part. You understand the point now?
Yes, sir. I just got confused a bit. Thank you.
Okay, please don't confuse yourself. Thank you. Okay, for the pie chart, we know from the pie, I believe some of us, we do, how many of us, okay, one way or the other, when last did you eat pizza? At least.
Not long ago.
Last year, sir.
Last year, okay, that's good.
Quite some time.
But you
Last
use that money to buy it for your girlfriend.
Not tested.
Okay, wait. How many of us, be sincere, how many of us you don't even like it, or you've not eaten it before, you've not tasted it before?
I'm number one, no.
I don't like it, oh.
You don't like it, or you don't want to, you can't afford it.
No,
Everybody can afford it.
I only eat it when I'm very hungry.
When you are very hungry.
Yes.
Okay, be sincere to yourself. You don't like it. How many of you, ladies, be sincere? Your boyfriend, the first time your boyfriend bought it for you, what happened? Be sincere.
The looks on their face.
From there to use, we represent it with pizza. For those of us that have seen, you've eaten pizza before, you know we have what we call pizza cutter. They already it's divided. If you've not seen it before, you can still take your time and go to pizza shops, all these Domino, or what do you call it? So you can go there and take your time and write and buy, just buy small one. You can see when you buy the small pizza, you will know what it's, get the taste. Adamu, be careful. I will send you out again. Please mute yourself. Okay, so when we have for example, pizza is like this. Simply means 360, and we call it 360 degree. 360 degree because of the nature. Because of the nature of the circle. So in this case, the pie chart is sectorial angle are computed for the item based on their value. Now, one of the things I want you to note, because they can just give you question and said, what is the value for this? The formula says the sectorial value is value of the item divided by total value of all the items multiplied by 360. Now, look at this 4.7, example 4.7.
Please, can you come back?
Example 4.7. It shows that the feeding, for us to calculate feeding now, we have feeding here. Feeding is equals to 69625. That is the value. What is the total value of the whole income we are talking about?
27,500.
27,500.
Is 2,027,500. Is it 500 or add everything together, please?
That's 275 if we put it appropriately.
275, right?
Yes, sir.
thousand. Everything now multiplied by.
It's not.
Please, let's add. I don't believe this figure. Add it
No,
together from
it's
your.
Let's add it, please.
27,500. It's 27,500.
It's
27,500.
27,500. Extra zero is an error from the writer, from the printer. The extra zero is an error.
There is no point here. We have 9,000. Let's add it, please.
So it's 27.
Do your addition by yourself, please. So that we will not use the wrong value.
It's
27,500.
Yes.
Oh. Madu, what's the question?
Yes, since I was trying to like ask, you multiply or you add divided by 360. I got lost there.
Is here. The section we are talking about is feeding. Are you getting it?
Okay.
What is the value for feeding? The value for feeding is what?
9,625.
One
okay.
is 9,625 divided by the total value 2,700. Everything now multiplied by 360 degree. So let's divide it and multiply it. What do you have?
26 degrees. 126 degrees. 126 degrees.
126. 126, sir.
126 degree, because everything will be in degree. Now, do the rent. What is the rent? The rent here is 4125 times 360.
54.
54 degrees.
54. Let's do the education. That is the way we do our budgets in Nigeria. 5500. That is for education.
72.
72. So savings. Your savings is what? Don't use your savings to buy pizza. Is what?
It's 90 degrees.
90. Then others.
18.
Others is 1,000 what?
1,375.
Is what?
18 degrees.
18 degrees. So we can see the way we calculate it. So there's no Jupiter there. So look at it. The sum, add everything together, must equal to 360.
360.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Do you get 360? Okay.
Yes.
If you have 360, then you can begin to share them from it. So let's start. That's how you can see the way they do it. You can do this one too, and you conclude. That's the end for this particular this assignment. Go and do it on your own. You don't need to submit. As from next class, please always come with your calculator. We are going to arithmetic mean for group and non-group. So we will continue from there. I believe it is clear. Or do we want us to do the cup together?
That is very clear.
Okay, I know this is not a new topic. All you need to do is just to place it at the right place. The feeding, Some people believe that locate the middle point first. The feeding is 126. You remember that the middle point is, this is 180, 180. Let's say 180 here, 180 here. This is 180 degree, and this is another 180 degree. Add to 180 degree here. You can clean part of it and add to it. 180 plus 180. Okay, let's deduct 126 from 180. What the remaining one? Remain 54.
54.
So, meaning that I can take 54 out of this. I have this one, 180. I can call this one. I can call this one 54.
So that other side will be 126.
Let's say by 54 is here, 126 degree. You know what is 126 is?
Yes, sir. Feeding.
We have 124 already. We have 54 is what? Rent. You call this one rent. Then the next one is what?
Education.
72.
Education.
Education. So you can also divide them.
Minus 72 from 180.
Minus 72 from here. Education, right?
Yes, sir.
So the next one will be what?
Savings.
90.
Savings. 90.
90 and others. I can now, let me just say, let me call this one 18, which is others, and call this one 90.
90.
The 90 is saving.
Savings.
This is others. Why this is education.
Education.
So, any question? So I believe the explanation is clear enough. Beatrice, any question? Beatrice. Suntia, right? Suntia, Beatrice. Did I get it right? I got it right? Unmute yourself, I can't hear you. So I hope you got it.
Sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Oni.
Please, sir, how do we come about the 126, the 90? I not get it, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, you will get it by the time you get the video.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So on the videos, the explanations are there.
Okay.
Just take the item, divide it by total, and multiply it by 360. Then sketch it. Any other question? Any other question? Yes, Naraban.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, ma.
My question, please let me be patient, sir. The component of the bar chart, I tried to calculate it. I was confused, sir. The calculation, sir.
Okay.
That you said we should do at home, yes, sir.
Okay. It is very. Let me quickly share the screen before I close it.
Yes, sir.
Now it is simple.
Yes, sir.
The first, look at 1999.
Yes,
what
sir.
is the value on A?
2.8.
2.8.
1999 for A.
3.2.
Is what? Let add up, please. Laraban, check the manual. The table.
Yes, sir.
Look at the table here.
Yes, sir.
1999 is what?
The one is 3.2.
B is what?
B is 3.4, sir.
And C is what?
2.8.
Now, so this 3.2 will be the first thing you first of all draw.
Okay, sir.
Remember, you already labeled your own. The total, the highest total here is 10.8, which is, we assume is 11.
Yes, sir.
Your vertical, you already number it to 1 to 11. So trace the first one to 3.2.
Okay, sir.
When you trace it to 3.2, I got this. In my own case.
Yes, sir.
In my own case, my 3.2 is here.
Yes, sir.
I stopped there.
Yes, sir.
Now, the B is what?
The B is 3.4.
Now, 3.2 plus 3.4 is what?
6.6.
Yes. So I will now trace it. You will not do another one. It's the same thing from here.
Yes,
extend it to 6.6.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the next value on the table is what?
2.8.
2.8 plus 3.6.6.
9.4.
Now, take it to 9.4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is what I did. And I
Okay,
labeled it 9.4.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I'm grateful. Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Beatrice, what's the question? Any question from you? Jonathan.
Good afternoon. Good morning, sir.
Good boat. How are you?
My question is about this multiple bar chart.
Go and read it and solve it. That is simple. Any other question? No. Okay. Thank you for coming. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you.
I believe today's class is a bit very interesting, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you are the best. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.